So, Brittany, what kind of flexibility do farmers have when it comes to grain marketing and selling and the price? And like, it seems a little bit locked in, right? You have to take the crop to the granary or the elevator, the ethanol plant, wherever. But how much flexibility do farmers actually have?
Great question. Yeah, farmers have more flexibility in terms of pricing their grain early if they want to. So it's called forward contracting. But this can be a valuable tool because if you're watching prices, let's say it's February, you haven't even planted the crop, definitely haven't harvested it yet, and you can then lock in your price in February if you wanted to. So if you're watching the market and you see a price that meets your targets, so it's above your break even, maybe you have a profit goal in mind and you see that it hits that price, you can actually call that grain elevator or the place that you plan to deliver it and do a contract, so you know during which time frame you're going to deliver it to them, what price you have, and that is a really nice feature of grain marketing, I guess, is that you can forward contract. So there are a lot of farmers though that will harvest it in October and deliver it right to the grain elevator and sell it that day. But oftentimes you'll get better pricing opportunities if you price it early with forward marketing. There are also different contract types in grain marketing, so you don't necessarily have to lock in your cash price with a forward contract. There are ways that allow you a little more pricing flexibility. There's futures and basis involved in cash grain marketing. So there are ways where you can lock in your futures price, wait to set basis later, and vice versa. So there is some flexibility in both contracting options and then when you price that grain.
And is there some risk? I mean, you were talking about selling like a crop that you haven't even planted yet. How do farmers manage that risk? Because what happens if they don't have enough soybeans to fill a contract later on?
Yes, that can definitely be a concern, but that is where crop insurance comes in. So crop insurance and grain marketing kind of work hand in hand in that. So you can get crop insurance for a percentage of your crop, and that's dependent on what you want to pay for the coverage. So it's determined, each farmer will have a different crop insurance coverage level, but you should feel safe marketing up to that crop insurance protection level. So if you did 70%, for instance, you could market 70% of your expected production, which is just your yield times your acres planted. So that's how you get that idea of what you have to market for that percentage. But it can be a concern some people have, so they don't always forward market up to that percentage either, because there's all the things included like weather that a person has to worry about, and you can end up like buying your contracts back. Different grain buyers deal with contracts that you can't fill differently depending on the situation. So the crop insurance protection level though should be a good place to feel comfortable marketing to.
Yeah, and I think it's important to stress too that this futures market is a way for farmers to have some flexibility, because otherwise, at least I know on our farm, we don't have enough grain storage that we could keep our whole crop on the farm and kind of wait for the right price and then sell it. We only have so much, and the rest of it we have to take in when we have it. So I think that's an important aspect of that futures market and how that works, and kind of gives farmers some flexibility.
Definitely. Yeah, the futures market and, as you mentioned, on-farm storage, those two I should have mentioned in the flexibility question in the initial part of it, because that does provide a lot of flexibility. When you have on-farm storage, you're able to market for a longer period of time. Basis tends to be better after harvest, so you can capitalize on that. And yeah, so that's also a very good point.